Alrighty folks, my name's Tony and these are my hands. Today we're going to kick good old-fashioned homemade chicken soup. You can add noodles off to the side, always your choice. These are the veggies we're going to use today, so let's get started. Get them carrots in. I got 10 cups of water here. I got about a pound, or 16 ounces, which is a pound, of assorted veggies, as you saw: corn, peas, carrots, broccoli, and good old-fashioned cauliflower. All amazing stuff. Now make sure you have room in your pan, because I'm going to run out. Once I put the chicken in here, I'm going to put this on low simmer, and it's going to cook for like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops, and it will be awesome. Alright folks, I'll be right back to show you the spices we're going to put in. Hold that thought. Alrighty folks, here's all the different spices we're going to use. The black pepper medley I'm a very big fan of. The good old-fashioned honest officer, it's oregano. Always good for parties. Parsley flakes. And a little bit of basil. Chopped chives, because I don't have enough room for a full onion in there. Now 2 bay leaves, okay, not 1, but 2 bay leaves. California garlic. You can use any garlic powder, no offense to California, just letting you know. Use what you have on hand. And just a wee dash of rosemary leaves. Now, people are saying, what's the difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon? Well, here's the difference, alright? A little less, a little more for the tablespoon. So we're going to put a tablespoon of everything in here, except for the bay leaves, and the garlic, and the rosemary. Alright, we're going to do just a dash of the rosemary, and a dash of the garlic, because not everybody is a big fan of that. I am. I love garlic, so if I had black garlic, I'd even be using that. But I don't, so this is what we're going to use for that. So I'm going to put these spices in. I'll do that off camera for you, just so I wanted you to know what we will be using, alright? And always, pepper to taste. Pepper to taste. This pepper is phenomenal. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. Look at all the beautiful colors in there. Each one a very unique flavor. So please, check it out. Alright? Oh yeah, my goodness. I don't use salt either. I stopped adding salt after my heart attack because less sodium is good for you. So I only add 2 bouillon cubes to the 10 cups of water. Now this is only good for like 2 cups or 2.5 cups of water each. So there's plenty more water than there is you need for this. I'm just adding this to add that dash of salt that I don't need to add unless you really want it. But I believe I need it, but at the rock bottom minimum. So 2 bouillon cubes is the perfect amount of salt for me. Alright? Hold that thought. Well, I decided I'm going to show you me adding the spices, but I'll just fast forward through and do the rest silent. Bay leaves, 2 bay leaves. Tablespoon oregano. Parsley. It's okay to go a little over. Parsley is good for the body, just like everything I'm showing you here. Now, I'm a big fan of the chives. That's what these bad boys are. So it's okay to go again a little, oops, a little over. No one's going to worry about it. Now the black pepper, like I said, this stuff is just phenomenal. I'm going to measure it out because eyeing it up, it's perfect. You know, when you learn how to do that using your eye, you might not always have all the right tools, but the bonus part about doing this by hand and eye is less dishes, man. And whew, everybody likes less dishes. Alright, so that's there. Now the things we're going to use, just the regular good old-fashioned teaspoon for, was the basil. Don't want too much of that because it can be very overpowering. Rosemary, again, really good stuff. Now I did put this in a blender and break it up a little bit. Again, 1 teaspoon. And garlic. Now normally I would add more garlic, but I'm going to be sharing this with some people, and I'm not sure what their garlic tolerance factor is. So we're just going to keep it at that. But look at that so far. It's just amazing. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to pan fry up some of the chicken. Then we're going to toss that in there. Oops, I actually accidentally spilled the beans on my little secret for making killer chicken soup. But remember, keep watching, and you'll learn. That's the most important thing. And you'll feed yourself. And just as important, there's going to be enough left to feed somebody else. Alright? Because I just talked to a person who was just down in the luck, and I think I'm going to cheer him up with a little bit of help and a little bit of chicken soup. You know? I heard something about chicken soup and a soul, but hey, that's another story for you people who know it. Alright, hey. Be right back. Alrighty, I turn the front burner on. Front right. Woohoo. Put away the spice spoons. We're gonna get the chicken ready. Now I had already cut this up the other day and diced it. Well, squared it up in chunks. So this is gonna be pretty awesome once it gets in there. And hopefully it won't be too much to overflow this thing. So I may have made a mistake already. But you seeing it here is very important. Oh yeah, always clean that burner, folks. And that last little bit of smoke. Smoke. Alright. And this is a good way to test the batteries in your smoke detector, by the way. But at this point in time, you know what smoke smells like? Time to smell the chicken. Even though we did prep this yesterday, it's always good to smell your meat every time before you cook it. Really important, okay? I do not recommend food poisoning for anyone, like them or not. Now we're going to brown just one side. So I'm getting rid of this bag. I'm going to use it to push all the chicken down. So I'm not going to touch the pan with it. So it'll stick right to it. I'm burning up that chicken. Alright. In the garbage. You hear that? Just in case you didn't. Wash the hands real quick. Always good to wash the hands just in case you got chicken on it. You definitely don't want it to stick, but you do want it to brown. And it's gonna be so good. Give this a little stir. Well, it's all frozen veggies, so it'll be hard to stir at the moment. Once that gets boiling up, some good hot chicken in there. That'll be awesome. Now this is definitely going to take a while, but as you know with anything that hopefully you've tried in my other recipes, that it's worth the wait, it's worth the effort, because food is so good. And always know that you're the one actually making this. So that's really, really awesome. Now I just do the one side. Trying to get it to unstick a little. Then I'm going to keep the burner on, and we're going to bring this over here, put the lid on, bring it to a boil, and let it simmer for a minimum of 1 hour. We're going to stir it a couple times within that, and keep an eye on it. Then I'm sure there's going to be some of that chicken that you can peel off the top, but not till then. You don't want to burn it. You gotta keep it moving. I'll turn the heat off for a second. And this way I know if I shut the heat off, I only use what's here. So I'm not going to continue to have a constant overheating, and that's one of the last things you'd want to do. You want all these beautiful juices in your soup. But you do want that mild browning to sear in the flavor. Then we got our 2 other stirring dishes. How cool is this, right? Just picked her up Awesome. I'll be using this once the soup is mostly done, but I'll be using this while the raw meat is in there, so we can keep track of the raw meat tools. Pretty important. Alright, there you go. See the mild browning? That's exactly what you want. Just on one side. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. There you go. Now your chicken is ready to be put in. I do it this way so I don't get a big splatter. Last thing you want is big old splatter. Now, by the way, this is 3 full chicken breasts. Normally you can pull apart like a whole chicken or whatever you want to use. Chicken legs, you name it. Chicken breast, chicken thigh, bubblegum shrimp, you name it. Whatever you want to do, you can use. But this is what we're using today. You see the chunks aren't too big. Nice. And tasty. Can't wait, folks. Alright, I want to go set this in the sink. Ta-da! Back, just like that. Now careful, that burner's still hot. Be picking this bad boy up. Oh yeah. Turning it back on. Right front. The reason I keep announcing it is because I'm dyslexic, and I always got to make sure of directions and everything. So if you have a learning disability, it's okay, man. We all have our moments, but this is how we learn. Now, as you can see here, this is definitely very, very full, very close to the top. So you're definitely going to want to stay out here the whole time till you bring this up to a boil. Then check back every 5-10 minutes while you're on low simmer to watch for over boiling. But in case you can't really see how close I am to the top, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty close. You try to have at least an inch space, so if I had a bigger pot, I'd definitely be using it. But hey, that's the way the world works. So, we'll be back once this starts boiling, folks. But man, that's going to be so, so good. Alrighty. Oh yeah. They go face full of steam. I can't see out of my glasses. Alright, so brought this up to a boil. Took about 15-20 minutes. We're gonna scoop up all those beautiful spices that were on the side there. Give this a little bit of stir. Now we're gonna let this slow cook. Probably for at least a half hour. I know I said a longer time earlier, like an hour, hour and a half. But it might be a little too long. We'll let the carrots be the judge. But look at this. Looking so yummy. Nice big chunks of chicken. That big old bay leaf. Oh yeah. Tasty. There we go. Tasty. Sorry this is so far off to the side, but if I grab this and touch it, I'll burn my hands, and I don't want to do that. I carry it off, but safety first for you and I. Now this is the one that I was using for all the raw stuff. We're going to get rid of this and this. And we're going to switch over to this bad boy right here. This will be our new one, stirring everything. Since the chicken is already cooked, and I know it, it's safe to use this. Alright, so I already turned the heat down to low. And I'm going to put the lid back on. I'm going to stir this every 15 minutes or so. But always keep an eye on your stuff, folks. Alright? Hold that thought. See you in 15 wonderful minutes, but the house smells so good. And that's awesome. That's what you need right now during the holidays or non-holidays. In case you're watching this during the summer and wanting to make it. Right now it's actually November, right before Thanksgiving. So good warm food here. It's very important in Western New York because it's cold. Okay. It's been about 15 minutes. Ooh, big old steam shot in the face. Yeah, be careful of that, folks. That could have actually been very bad. Oh yeah. And as you can see on the chicken, hopefully, that is slightly brown. And that was awesome because I browned it a little bit in the pan before I put it in here. So that flavor is definitely going to transfer over. You get that nice caramel glaze. Now if I had a chance to do onions, that would have been pretty cool to toss in there also. You take a whole onion slice in your pan, You brown the one side, then you put it in your soup. And it turned out amazing. Now this is just coming along so good. Again, the heat is on low. I don't want to over stir it too much. I don't want to break out the broccoli or cauliflower too much because that kind of disintegrates a little bit. A little splash that transferred through the shirt. Oh. And that happens from time to time, so be careful. This splatters while cooking. So I showed you when I put the chicken in earlier, I used a spatula because it made it easier and to avoid splash, because then you can just kind of set your chicken in or whatever you're making. Some people like chili, beef stew, put real chunks of meat in that, man. You know, chili's nice, but add chunks of meat like that in there. I mean, you know, beef chili, whatever chili you like, man. Alright, well, this is coming along so good. Mmm. Oh yeah, it smells so awesome. Now we're going to give it like 15 final minutes. Then we'll shut it off, give it a taste test, and decide if we need to cook it a little more or if it's perfect. So far I believe it's been about 40 minutes, maybe 45 tops. But this is coming along awesome. Well worth the cook time. Like I said, your house is going to smell great, and you get to heat your home too while cooking. Can't go wrong with that. Woohoo! Alrighty, my friends. Final 15 minutes. Face full of steam avoided. You can still see out of my glasses. Bonus for everyone. Alright. I shut off the heat like I said. Oh yeah, everything's looking so good. Now we'll let this sit for a little while, cool down, absorb all its awesome flavor. Get out a spoon, take out one of the carrots, sit that here. Yeah, real easy to cut through. You know your carrots are done. That's very important. Toss those right back in there. Now, for those of you who are not, you know, like salt, you're allowed to add salt after. That's not going to be bad. But this can be a nice, tasty mouthful. Man, so good. Here we go. A little hot, so be careful of that. But this, a lot of flavor. Gonna be truly awesome. I want to touch this so bad, but it's hot, so don't. I do not recommend it. We will burn yourself. So about 5 minutes, it'll be ready to serve. Perfect. I mean, nothing wrong with serving it now. I just like letting everything settle for a few more minutes, and you'll get it when you try it. And when you do, leave a comment below on if you notice the 5-10 minute difference. It's all about the flavor, my friends. And this is going to be several meals. You got enough for a neighbor, a friend. And like I said, when we drop off some food to another person later, we're going to drop off a quick meal for them. And they're not going to expect it. So, awesome, right? Take care, man. Hold that thought. Be right back. Man, oh man, GoPro 9, you have your freezing issues, but I still love you, GoPro. Okay then. And on that note, I love you more is this soup. Alright. This is going to be so tasty, man. Oh yeah. Look at all that chickeny goodness. Ow, where I burned my finger. Look at that. Looks so good. I'll add just a pinch more soup before I give it to the wife. But that's just going to be awesome. So just like that. Adding a little extra broth in there. Bam. Roll with it, as they say. Because the soup bowl is so hot. Don't want the missus to burn her hands. This is the sign of a caring person. Here you go, my dear. Alright. Alright, here we go, because I'm really, really hungry. So I'm going to have myself a big old bowl. Not too big. I grabbed the larger bowl so this way I can spread it out, let it cool down a little bit while I eat. Now you can also add your crackers right now, or after, whatever. Now we're too late for crackers. And that's another great way to add your salt if you need salt back in your food. So yeah, here it is, folks. This is so, so tasty. Nope, my wife took my spoon. But I got a big old shovel, and I can't wait to dig in. Bon appetit, folks. Leave a comment below on what you think, and we'll be right back with a wrap-up. Alright, folks, that soup really, really hit the spot. Now I got a care package I'm going to take to you, Don. You'll have eaten this several months before you see this video. But just think, you'll be eating this soup soon. That yummy, yummy. Always good to save your butter dishes, because this way you can give the container away and you don't have to worry about getting it back. So the person just gets to enjoy the meal and not have to worry about getting you a dish back. But this can be so good. Enough for 2 people. Her and her son, they'll love it. Now I have a friend who can't eat white meat, but they can eat the soup. So I made her a little batch, and if she can handle it, she can have more. I'll just make sure I take the white chicken out. Now some people can only eat dark meat. It's a thing, so look into it. If you're one of those, I feel for you. At least you can still eat chicken wings. Woohoo! An important thing you should also note is when you're done cooking this, find the bay leaves and take these out and set them aside, because you don't want to chew on these or pass these through your body. Unless, you know, that's your thing. But hey, we all have our moments. But alright, folks, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below what you think of the soup or what twist you would put on it to make it your own. But it's quite filling. We have enough left for a couple days. We might even put a stash in the freezer just for that extra cold day and we need something. But this can be really good, really healthy. And I didn't have to add any salt, and you shouldn't either. So please enjoy. Take care, my friends.